one last stab at it, Romus, because I get it. I'm taking him too seriously. There are literally places in this country that are majority white. I mean, like, really majority white. Like, white, 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 white. Like, I don't understand if he's in Idaho and the black population is not that high. If he wants a white nation, why can't he just take his ass to live in the country in Montana or something? So that's all I'll say there. Like, Nick Fuentes, like, just the way that he framed it would let me know that they need minorities and immigrants, because that's a really stupid theory. That's all I'm saying. Anyway, I'm done.
I agree with you. And not only that, I live in Texas, right? And actually, Texas is a red state. It's the second most populous state in the country, and it's a red state. And then the most populous state would be California, and then followed by New York. So those are your three biggest states. Then Florida, Georgia, whatever, right? But number one and number two, right? It's going to be California, which is obviously very blue. It's what 54 electoral votes, and I'm not quite sure we have to take. I think like 38, if I'm not mistaken. But anyway, I digress. The reason why I did want to say this, when I'm in Dallas is a very cosmopolitan place, right? I live in a predominantly white neighborhood, right? I can count my black people, but it's an upper middle class neighborhood. There's no freaking Confederate flags in my neighborhood. Now, are there white people that prefer white people? Well, it's a predominantly white neighborhood, sure. But when they come out and bust a grapefruit, probably not. Because that's why. Because they're working. They're working a lot of hours trying to get their kids to the top schools. And here in Dallas is probably going to be UT Austin or maybe Texas Tech, A&M. I mean, they're living real lives. I remember when January 6th happened, I was just like, you know what, let me take a peek out and see if there's any white people, doing anything crazy. I'm like, maybe got freaking.
I'm sorry, is this addressing either my rebuttal or the original point?
I'm not even responding to your rebuttal.
Oh.
Because you basically said that you don't take him seriously. And I knew you didn't take him seriously, so there was no need to respond. I'm kind of speaking on the overarching about the Nick Fuentes guy, so I'm not even responding to you at all. If that makes sense. I'm not sitting you at all. No offense. But you even said you were just kind of like...
Oh, no, continue speaking. I was just asking for a point of...
Yeah, I completely disregarded what you said. Because I knew he was like just...
You can continue. Thank you. You may continue.
But you came off the app to speak to me, and I just felt that I was
all right.
overemphasized.
All right,
take your medicine. She was just talking.
No, so am I.
Well, you keep going and going. Just go with whatever you got to.
Well, she interrupted me, and I lost my and she did it on purpose, too.
I'm sure you're not that special, but continue, please.
Now, neither are you. Two of us. You're not that special either.
All right, well.
You actually had nothing.
Okay, Jesus Christ.
You had nothing to say, but you said something. But you had nothing to say.
Do you talk to the white people in your neighborhood like that?
I'll talk to anybody like that. I'm not scary like you. You're scary, not me. You're scared to die, not me.
You think the white people are going to kill you?
Ma'am, shut up. You sound like a fucking retard.
But you actually are one. I'll tickle he goes.
Wait, is that him in his PTR, y'all?
Bye, Felicia.
Oh my God.
Old to be talking like that.
But I really was asking. You gotta go. But I really was asking him what point he was referring to.
You really was.
I didn't understand.
Hello?
And I was going to interject with already have a vestige of a modern day Jim Crow. Didn't we just witness that just in the last couple of days that the state of Virginia had a statewide vote and then it was shut down, and then we find out that the Supreme Court shut it down? Didn't we just witness Tennessee months before primaries literally say that they're going to remove black districts, and we're literally removing duly elected people out of office? Isn't the same thing happening in Louisiana? Was Jim Crow not actual legislation that was put in place? It was not just sentiments. It was not just MAGA. It was actually legislation. Wasn't a core part of the Voting Rights Act struck down, having pieces of legislation that have been in place for over 50 years been struck down. So um, I would wager that we are facing a modern Jim Crow, and this president hasn't even been in office for 2 years. So what else is going to come?
That is the question, but I think that we are going to respond, and I think now we are catching up to understanding, how this is being happened, how this is happening to us. That we're at a point now where we're about to get activated, and the strategies need to change because they change. We need to change with the strategies, and they come up with new creative strategies.
So, Robert, tell us, what do you see? You say we're catching up, so what do you see coming down the turnpike since you know what's going to happen?
I don't say that I know what's going to happen. I think that we are going to be in a position where we're going to have to like sit back. How do we take this shit down? Clearly, they have moves. Clearly, they came with a plan. 2025, they came with a fucking plan.
So, Ramos, 1 second. So, Ramos, I ask you a question because you're rambling. You're talking. You're being vague. You're not giving specifics at all, and I'm afraid that you're going to continue doing that for the next 10 minutes. That's why I asked you what you see coming down the turnpike. If your answer is I don't see anything yet or I don't know, then that's your answer. But I don't need we need to sit down and strategize. We just need to get ready. That's not saying anything.
Okay, so let me.
It's okay to say you don't. It's okay to say you don't know. It's okay.
Okay,
It's okay to
so
say you don't know.
I did say that, but what I'm suggesting is we are going to start early. Republicans, and I mentioned this months ago, Republicans started breeding these monster Republicans, these right wingers, since elementary school. They have had them in programs, in clubs, making speeches. They started early. And what I mentioned a long time ago is, when are we going to start to do that? I think we have a reason now to do that, to start fucking in elementary school, right? While we're fighting now, we got to build.
To start what in elementary school? To start what?
Building some coalition, building some training, something to keep our ability to vote at the top of the list of things to do. I think civics, certain civic things started maybe in I don't know, high school. I remember in high school we really started to learn about government. Other than that, it was like social studies, like history. I think we need to start talking about making a change, understanding what our positions are, knowing how to support it, being in volunteering for, registration.
Rob,
Who's the fucking elementary school?
Who's the we? So you say we need to do X in elementary school. Who's the we?
We are the opposition party.
We have elementary
How
schools
dare
run
you?
by children.
Dare you?
I'm saying we don't
How
have
dare
a
you?
plan. We only take them anything that's not far fascist right.
I'm gonna get this fool off the damn stage.
Rhombus, I don't understand why you feel comfortable being this vague when you talk. It's hard to follow because you're just not specific enough.
Okay, I'm gonna step away. Please.
No, I'm being honest.
I know.
Okay.
I said my 2 cents. If I don't translate, I'll just try to find some other things to do.
So, Hurricane, what is that you looking for? Hurricane, what is that? Oh, go ahead.
Just telling him that we should speak his truth, that's good.
Yeah, Hurricane, what is it that you are specifically looking for him to respond and which, like, what would satisfy you?
Oh, just something intelligent, meaningful. That's all.
Something intelligent.
I mean, like, so.
He's full of shit,
If you
sir.
ask yourself that question, how would you respond?
I wouldn't ask myself the question that he was trying to answer.
So, okay, so he was trying to make his point, and then you asked him a follow-up question.
But like, just say
To
Islam,
his
like
point,
it
but
was Islam.
you were clearly looking
That
for a specific answer
Look at Hayden.
to,
No, man. No, bro. It's Islam.
To
Most people
respond.
say Islam. Like, what the
You know, I saw Narja's. I saw a woman dressed like that today, but even over the full thing, she had a second one just in case. So it's like a Muslim JIC. Just in case that one falls off, she's got the other one to, make sure. But isn't that so crazy? It's like, where did you come from? How are you driving, a nice new car? And, who are you? And, how long are you planning on staying here? When are you going to go back to Damascus? Hello?
Damascus is beautiful up there.
Where did you come from?
It's a very open culture.
Where did you come from?
Where did you go? Kind Joe. Let's sing. We're supposed to have a karaoke. Where's Daniel Nero? Can someone? I just called him. He's not picking up.
Oh, I don't know where he is.
Narjas, you said something earlier today that was wrong, and I just wanted to, question you about it. You said something like the experience is the virtue,
Yeah.
or you said, just life is the virtue. You said existence is the virtue, not a virtue.
A virtue.
Oh, it is a virtue. So there are many, many virtues. Do you think
Many virtues.
Do you think the other virtues supersede just mere existence?
They're identical to existence itself.
Oh, it's identical. Oh, got it. So there's actually no learned ethics or morals or virtues, correct? Is that what you're saying?
No, I'm saying all virtues exist. That's all I'm trying to say.
All virtues exist. You're not actually saying anything.
I'm saying that it is because see the argument is it better to exist than to not exist, right? It's always better to exist because that which exists always holds potential to actualize. So such as hope, patience. These are virtues that become like the mechanism.
Well, see that's where I would. This is where Christianity. Because in Christianity, shut up. When you're doing charity and you're dying for someone that you love to save their life, that kind of supersedes what you're saying.
Why you're so sensitive?
Because if you made a pleasant sound as opposed to the racket that's coming out of your mic, I wouldn't be objecting, to the sounds that you're emitting.
John is a very, very lonely man. He's a very lonely man. He's intimidated by
No, I'm just asking, are you okay with my voice or no? Because
I think it's good. It's exceptional.
yeah.
I'm just saying, what you're saying, Narjas, is kind of it's not the full.
Because maybe I'm not understanding.
You have to look at my Instagram and then you can talk with me.
You want me to look at your Instagram, then I can talk to you? Oh, joy! Joy now! Oh, joy! Joy now!
Yeah, that's what you said. Okay, thank you.
Rabbi, your audio is
Yeah. Is this
shit.
what
Your audio is also shit.
میگه بابا دست خودتون ولش کنین اینقدر جریان بازی در نیارید همین رو میگه دیگه چه کاری حالا جریان بازی در نیار که من میام میشینم خونمون شما بریم باز خودتون اشغال کنید
سپید اتاق کی دیدم تو رو سکپتیک بود؟
من نمیدونم بابا من الان نشستم اینجا من سگم آخه از توی دامپزشکی گرفتمش بعد اومده بود همینجوری داشت یه جوری لایک به دوست من مثلا عشق و علاقه نشون میداد و من گفتم خدایا من اینو نگرفتم اینجوری باشه بعد یه جوری خرط و خر شده میشم
من سگم همین الان بردم
آره همین الان سگ من یه جوری چسبیده بود به این بازیگر مثلا خدایا بعد اصلا یه جوری مونده بودم که خدایا اصلا سگ من اصلا احتیاجی نداره اینجوری باشه ولی اینجوری شد دیگه چیکارش کنم
حالا بذار بخواه شاید دوا چیزی بهش دادن اونجا
اوکی بچه ها یه ذره حرف زدن گفتم جوابشون رو بدم دست
پرندم داری سپیده؟
آره جدی دارم الان اینجا اگه خاموش کنم همه چی خاموش کنم میتونه بگه که سپیده بعد جدا از اون سپیده رو میتونه بگه که بدش کن بد حرف بیادبی نظرم بدش کن بیخیال نه بیادبی آخه بیادبی
بگو بابا چی میگه کمس خول چی میگه مثلا
نه میگه که ریدم دهنت
بارو بابا
Okay. Hey, Flo, can you tell them you're like reading and it, please? I'm just literally asking him. خیلی بامزه. What the fuck? این چیه به من زنگ میزنه؟
Daniel. Do you know I don't know this person at all?
You don't? And you just fucking spoke to her fluently in Farsi and it sounded partly Vietnamese. I don't know why, but...
Mine doesn't. She had a little accent.
Oh my god, it's her problem.
I don't know if she is.
How does she fucking know that you can speak it, though?
I don't know.
She's stalking you, bro.
Seen her in a room before this too. In one of the rooms I was in. Yeah.
That's crazy, bro.
Oh,
They're gonna get you. They're coming to get you.
Should we sing?
Yeah, I'm just putting clothes on.
Hey, Daniel. Hey, sweetie.
Daniel, why aren't you singing?
Wait, Nurses, I got a question for you. Do you think the IRGC is hiring, meaning like because they've killed so many of them, like they're not putting out job solicitations to Iranians? They're like, hey, we need to recruit you, join today. I mean, they are, right? Absolutely.
Hello.
You know what? That could be possible. Really, I think so.
I mean, if the U.S. was engaged in a major war, they would be soliciting for soldiers left and right. I mean, they would have a draft. Like, where's the draft in Iran? Oh wow. Good one, Nero.
I love that song.
Welcome, Dr. Brian. Welcome, Dr. Brian.
Snack bar, you fucktard Muslims.
Welcome to Liberal Elite Intellectual Democrats.
That's funny as fuck.
Okay, I want to give you a quick
You know,
sample.
I still am the
So
Democrat.
CBS, I mean PBS, not the
No, I think this would be, Amari, this is important enough for us to listen to it in its entirety, because for us, we can top it off every 5 minutes, but for us to be listening to out of sequence clips that are not gonna give me any understanding, because he started in a different spot this time, you notice that?
So let me, I do apologize. Let me see if I can bring this up in the YouTube long format. And just so that you know, it's called Firing Line, right? With Margaret Hoover, all right?
Oh, okay, it's with Margaret Hoover? Okay, I know Margaret. That's a good, she's a good.
Okay, so I would like us to be able to hear it. No one has any place to go. This is Friday night, and if they're talking about Jim Crow, and Clyburn is a good, he's a good interview. I mean, he's gonna say something right off the cuff. I mean, you know what I mean? He doesn't hold back too much, so I think it's worth us listening to it. Anybody disagree? And then we can move on from there and continue having this conversation.
I think it's worth saying. So South Carolina. I mean, I think one of the, I don't know who said. I think Amari said this. I mean, and then another lady who was another part, Saunders, another part of the country. I think it's worth noting that. I mean, the United States is a pretty big place. There's a lot of different people, a lot of different views and ideas. South Carolina. I mean, this is. There's slave force there. My great grandmother was from Spartanburg, South Carolina. It's a pretty racist place. I don't think South Carolina is represented all over the United States. I think they need to take that note. Looking to the land and the strength of actually, the first Black American in 1971 to be invited to a governor in South Carolina. Right? We're talking about the same guy.
Hey, Daryl.
Yeah, hey, Lisa, I have an answer to your question about the clip. Okay, I found a clip on YouTube. The interview was done in January this year, so before the Supreme Court issued its decision in the Calais case.
Brother, I just wanted to correct you on that fact.
What?
So the Jim Crow laws didn't come before 19.
Oh yeah, I'm talking. Yeah, so there's nothing to correct. Just mute up.
Wait. Oh, sorry.
No. Sorry. Mute up. When I'm done, then you can talk about what you want to talk about. Okay. I'm talking about a YouTube clip. Mute up, please. YouTube, Chris, mute up.
You guys, mute up on the stage if you're not.
Don't mute. Don't yell at me, gay boy. Mute.
Whoa, stop, you guys.
We're not gonna do that.
This is a long night. Y'all already hyped up and came.
Yeah. So Lisa, the clip was posted on YouTube in January this year. It's about 30 minutes long. I can post the link in the chat. I don't know if you guys want to listen to 30 minutes, but it's Jim Clyburn talking about America, race, and where we're going in terms of civil rights. It's a bunch of stuff. So here's the.
Okay, you guys have the link. Amara, you have the link.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if I can play 30 minutes of what's that, but we can try to, because you might not got nowhere to go, but I definitely got to run up and down those stairs. Right here, brother.
I just posted the link. There's a set firing order with Margaret Hoover, and that's what I found.
I'll just settle in and go to a cigar lounge and just listen. All right, so 27 minutes.
You don't have to play the whole thing, but I believe that's where Rhombus got the clip from. So.
And we can just stop it right. Okay, so we can stop this clip it'll take a little too long every 5
to sit here run it.
Okay,
Yeah,
so
I'll run it
Columbus,
every
you,
6 minutes. But
okay, so every six?
Yeah.
Oh my God, what are you guys like? No, seriously, because I'm
3?
trying to get to the 3 minutes. We'll be forever.
Well, we're not trying to get through this whole. You trying to get through this whole thing tonight?
Oh Lord. Okay, go ahead, Rhonda. Start it. Do every 5 minutes. Is the 5 okay?
Oh yeah, 5 times 6 is 30. So yeah, that's fine.
All right. It's 5 minutes, y'all. You guys need to. ADD is for real, and I think RFK. Just relax. If we might hear something that's going to help us with the conversation, maybe help you make some informative decisions about what's going on with voting and should you vote and what's actually happening. This is informative. Look at it that way. Informative.
Not if you're listening to mentally ill people.
Who are you considering mentally ill, sir?
The homosexuals.
Oh my
No,
God, I can't.
no.
I
Oh, my
just cannot. I just cannot tonight. Sir, can you keep your
I go to the audience. That was absolutely called for, and that's not what this room is about.
okay, this is just too much. I cannot control the crazies. So, all right.
Don't even try to control the crazies.
No, I'm not. You see what I'm doing? I'm trying to find something to eat. And I'm just trying to get you guys to have a room until I get home that's
Some of the mods agree with what I say. That's why they brought me back up.
oh, okay. Well, those mods are not going to speak up, so. And can you just not talk until we get through 5 minutes of this?
Well, so a mod that dropped you
It's
approved
that.
to come back up.
Yeah, and I just realized that, yeah, I'm just gonna drop it again. It'll stay that way. My bad. I do apologize, everyone.
Talk about hypocrisy.
You know, I make mistakes. I am not perfect.
We're playing it 5?
Go ahead, Robert. Calm down. Go ahead, man.
What?
Let me get Little out of here first.
It's a warning for the future. This was on fire.
My cautionary tale is just anything that's happened before can happen again.
South Carolina Congressman Jim Clyburn is talking about segregation.
All it takes is a role Supreme Court, and I'm not so sure that we have not gotten there.
So do you think they would reinstitute Jim Crow?
Absolutely. And I think the Supreme Court is well on the way to doing that.
Clyburn's recent book, The First Eight, is a reminder of Black Americans' political advancement and deliberate political suppression. It tells the story of the 8 Black Americans elected to Congress from South Carolina immediately following the Civil War. There wouldn't be a night until Clyburn's election in 1992, close to a century later. And you say that it became more urgent to you to tell this tale after January 6th.
Right. I am convinced that whoever put January 6th together used a roadmap that became right out of this.
Thank you.
At 85 years old, Clyburn is a national power broker. His famous fish fry is a mandatory stop for any Democrat with presidential ambitions. Which is Congressman Jim Clyburn. Say now.
Firing line, Margaret Hoover, is made possible in part.
Take that mistake.
Well, I think that whitewashing of history has always been a part of the country, especially since the Civil War. The people who came out of the Civil War and then lost the war decided that was just a battle. They would continue to fight and to redeem the South through its pre-Civil War days. And in my book, I refer to them as redeemers.
The Redeemer Democrats were the Southern Democrats. They wanted to redeem the South.
They wanted to redeem the South to pre-Civil War days. And constitutionally, they couldn't get it done. But you will see instance after instance, they made the decision, we're going to take our society back as close to slavery as we can get without violating the Constitution. So now the 13th Amendment was there, was met, that the formerly enslaved were now free. The 14th Amendment gave them equal possession of the laws, and of course, the 15th Amendment, the like divorce. But the implementation of constitutional amendments rely on legislative action, and that's where they made their attack. But straight to the legislature, and then they got the two courts to interpret things the way they wanted them interpreted, and that's how we got Jim Crow.
The first black South Carolina member of Congress, Joseph Kane Rainey. You say when you got to Congress in 1993, there was practically zero evidence that he had ever been in the same hall as you were.
That's correct. And I set out to change that.
And later you were able to hang his portrait in the Capitol, have a meeting room designated in his honor.
Right.
Why was that so important?
Well, I believe history is very important. She's not just being informative, but she is instructive. And the reason I'm so strong, I think, that the extent to which we are left out of that district takes away from the foundation that our children and grandchildren can build upon.
Okay, we're at 5 minutes. Any thoughts? Am I continuing on? We need to fast forward more.
So,
What do we do?
hold on real quick and just give people a chance. I don't know, Misa, did you hear? Okay, so it looks like they clipped a part where he talked about Jim Crow, and then they seemed like they mashed it with another section of your original clip. Did you hear that?
I was hearing the conversation and it sounded like the original one, but still, let's move from here. The conversation is, do we really think this is viable? Like what he's saying, because this is what the room is about. He is coming out of his mouth. This is somebody who's been serving for a long time, a long time. Hopefully he won't be reelected. But,
He's 85 years old, right?
yeah,
Time to
just
retire, buddy.
time to retire, buddy.
But he sounds good though.
He does, but he should be, what do they call emeritus right now?
Yes.
He should be bringing somebody up behind him.
He should be on his porch drinking lemonade, riding the wave until.
No, he should be pouring all this knowledge into somebody who can come up behind him.
While drinking lemonade.
Y'all,
Don't forget the lemonade.
you guys are just
Or
really
sweet
gonna be
tea.
silly tonight, right?
I really like
This gonna be the
sweet tea.
silly room. Oh, this gonna be the silly room or?
In the hall.
I think that there's more. I think that there's more interview to be listened to, and so she will ask the question that we originally heard again, and then that was when the rest of the context will kind of roll out. But she's kind of teasing out some of the conversation, and this is that kind of like the first time we heard the word slavery come out of his mouth, because the last one he didn't say slavery. He said they don't want slavery. They want as close to Jim Crow as possible. But what I heard just now, he said
He's
they want to
talking
get
about the
as close to
first.
slavery as possible. Right.
He's talking about Rainey though. He's talking about the congressman. So when he was talking about that, he was talking about in that context. That's what I heard. So I mean, I didn't realize he was the person that got the picture in the halls of Congress. So shout out to him. That was something that I wrote down. That he did, that he was a big part of. So shout out to him for that one. So.
All right. Well, I'll roll out another 5
Go ahead
minutes.
and press play again if you quick it in. Lisa, you gotta mute up because I can hear them
Okay,
cooking
sorry.
the Chinese chicken wing
Yeah.
fingers on it.
Okay. Well, Miss Lisa.
But we said that that's what they said. So don't get surprised we said slavery, because that's what we said earlier, over an hour and a half ago. They said slavery.
But you didn't have to say Clive when he said it. Yeah, so I get what you're saying. But go ahead. But he didn't say slavery and the Republicans trying to bring it back in that sense, though. So you're still distorting it. But go ahead, Rhombus, we're here.
I have grandchildren. I have little great grandchildren. I think it's important for her to know who she is and what she is.
Robert Small was one of your first aides. He was born enslaved. He became a Civil War hero.
Right.
You call him, quote, the most consequential South Carolinian who ever lived.
Yes.
never told who his father was, but he did, because his father was not African American. And he put together a scheme to escape from slavery.
She met with Abraham Lincoln.
Yeah, he saved his day, and all of us who sit down there and like small to become a celebrity all over the country, having escaped slavery in the way he did, having been rewarded with his freedom, and with significant amounts of money. He was asked to go to Washington, sit down with Abraham Lincoln, and get permission for blacks to serve. And he left Washington having convinced Lincoln to do that. And Lincoln authorized him to come back to South Carolina and recruit 5,000 soldiers that turned into 40,000. Abraham Lincoln said himself, and it's in the book, were it not for these soldiers, they would not have won the war. So I believe that war changed direction because Robert Small was pretty clear in back to there.
There's one of the first aides whose story you say, quote, gives me the greatest pause, that's Robert the Large.
Yeah.
So how is he different?
He was born a free black. He's from family from Haiti. His father was a tailor, mother a dressmaker. They owned slaves because he was of mixed race. He was able to get an education, and he really joined the Confederate Army. He was a big politician for the enslavers. And he looked down upon those who were enslaved until the war was over and the Union had won the war. And he flipped sides. He used his color to get an education, and he used his color to suppress those that he considered beneath him until he needed them to vote for him. He only served one term, and I think those people soon saw through him.
The history of these men, especially the heroes, the ones you most admire. It strikes me that in an era where there was a move to tear down Confederate statues and to contextualize them and put them in museums and take them out of public spaces, that there's a real opportunity to build statues, to build up these men and to remind this next generation of our history.
Yeah, these things evolve. You'll see various books of Robert Smalls in places not really official. I have not seen Alex Smalls with the legislator that was working on putting his likeness in the Capitol. He represents and happens to be a Republican. His thing to me was, Robert Smalls was a Republican. Well, all eight of these people
We're
were
Republicans.
Republicans.
Well, but this is the
My
best.
mother and father were Republicans. But this Republican Party today
It's a little different.
is a little bit different.
It's a little bit different. You say that, as a result of the tumultuous and challenging times in which we live now, this book has become much more than an introduction to heroic figures.
Absolutely.
Heroic figures have been lost to history. It is now a cautionary tale.
Right.
And you say that it became more urgent to you to tell this tale after January 6th.
Right.
You say that the Redeemer Democrats are echoing the tactics of MAGA Republicans.
Absolutely.
Tell me more about that.
Well, this was all the stuff that they did. A guy named Witherspoon Gary, he's general in the Confederate Army.
Completely unrepentant, believe that Robert E. Lee should not have corrected.
Absolutely. And he did everything he could. He, like the particular figure in the White House today, he overtook the entire mechanism. He wrote and given instructions as to how they conduct themselves. And one of the things he instructed them to do, always wear like I asked the best that whoever put January 6th together use the roadmap that they came right out of the bill.
How far do you think the current MAGA Republican Party, because you say Proud Boys, which are different from run-of-the-mill MAGA, how far do you think MAGA Republicans, and you even Donald Trump as the leader of the MAGA Republicans, I mean, when you reference the echoes of history, how far do you think, or are you warning that they're willing to go?
All the way.
What do you mean by that? What do you mean by all the way? Because you write at one point in the book, the MAGA Republicans and their supporters who want to make America great again want to be remaking it in the image of the antebellum era. I just want to be clear. Are you saying you think they want to reinstate slavery?
No. They wish to get us back as close to slavery as they can possibly get us to without violating. Because the Constitution, they can't do it. Jim Crow. Yes.
So you think they would reinstitute Jim Crow?
Absolutely. And I think the Supreme Court is well on the way to doing that. Remember, all of this started with a Supreme Court decision called Dred Scott. That's what defined and laid the foundation for all of this stuff. And then we got the case law, Lester versus Ferguson, that established separate and equal.
Well, of course, the Supreme.
Okay, so that was what we heard the first.
Yes. Okay, I'm glad you did.
Would be the fever.
And I can't wait to hear what comes after that, because that's the part that, like Tiffany and others were stating, we need to hear that second part. But he said slavery, no. Jim Crow, definitely.
Yeah.
He said definitely. Okay, I heard that loud and clear. I have a little bit of pushback. I think since I've been coming on these stages, we're trying to have a conversation. I would say since I've been coming in this space, I think people take policies disagreements as wanting to go back to a Jim Crow slavery era. You voting, because you want voter IDs, to have an ID to vote, that you want Jim Crow, right? Because you may have stricter immigration policies, right? That you want to go back to slavery. I'm not sure how you can put tens of millions of people in that bucket. And that's just my one pushback there online.
And not only that, Amari, it's a very abstract thing. It's like you can't approve or disapprove that statement. It's just too abstract. It's too obtuse. And that's the issue that I have with it. I mean, he's just having a conversation, and we're hyper-focused on this conversation, and we're all going to take away our own meaning from it. But, I mean, the guy's also selling a book, too. It's not to get taxed, right? Like, for all the money, find the truth. I mean, I think this interview, obviously, I understand Jim Crow, Clyburn is, we all do. But I think things can be taken out of context or lost in translation. I want to know what time, where's his book? Does his book get published around this time? Is he on a book tour? What if we came out and found out this guy gave the same interview 30 different places at little Rotary clubs, Kiwanis clubs, all over South Carolina? Would we give it the same amount of,
Okay, I got issues with that, because the thing is this: everybody who was going through this administration, even the first time, has written a book, right? There are, I think, multiple reasons for that. One, you want to get that person's perspective. It's selling. If you're living in the MAGA world, you're gonna get fired, right? So this is gonna be his last hurrah getting paid. Secondly, it needs to be archived from multiple perspectives, as many perspectives that have the closest to the power as possible, adjacent, direct, indirect as possible, so that we can get the most accurate depiction of what is really going on from as many different angles. It is of service that we get this black man's perspective
have a little quick. I want to add to that, and I really want to pass the mic. But here's the other thing that's interesting. And it reminds me of the book that I was talking about earlier that people said was so irrelevant to what I was trying to say. I mean, I don't know why, but how he described. Because I just read about this guy, Robert Small. I didn't know the guy existed, and I went and I read about him, and I shared the link. I'm a speed reader, right? I'm like, damn, this Robert Small did that during actual slavery. I mean, this guy actually got a freaking Confederate ship and drove to the Union side that had cannons and munitions during the slavery time, right? And not to mention another little nuance factor kind of mentioned there. He had kind of like a priority status or a preferential status. He was Haitian, born free. I think they're saying here that he actually, one thing they're saying he's a slave, but he volunteered to be a worker to get a better context. He had slavery, agreed, and he was a freaking Confederate apologist. Let's not forget that part. And then he flipped sides after the Civil War. And then he served in the state legislature. Very interesting thing that any black person could do something like that back in anytime after the 1860s or anytime. And then he served in the U.S. Treasury, I mean the U.S. Representative as well during a time really right before Jim Crow, right? And Jim Crow came after 1865, right? Because these were the things that put black people back in chains, mass incarceration, all these other things. Someone said, what am I insinuating? I'm not trying to insinuate anything. I'm like, look at the facts. Guys, say this one, say it plainly. Nobody's going to give you shit. And it's interesting that we know that when it comes to our own macro lives. Like, if somebody's going to give you a degree, or you have to go out there and earn it, right? If somebody's going to give you freedom, or you're going to go out there and take it. Guys, white people didn't give us shit, okay? We fought for our freedom, we died for our freedom, and that's just the facts. I kill people for our
White people didn't give a shit.
We heard a lot of fellas.
Quote of the night.
I don't know why I something else.
We fought and died for our own freedom. We didn't do it together, ladies and gentlemen. Our people did it all by ourselves. Hello.
Between the Republican Party of the past that his parents were and Mr. Smalls was in the current Republican Party. Because no matter how many times people try to dispel that nasty little rumor, it will persist. I also think it's interesting that I actually just appreciate his perspective. I was reminded that this is an elder, and we don't really know what he's gone through. And it's kind of amazing that he reached that point in his life. And what struck me, and I put this in the chat, and honestly it's quite infuriating, and I apologize to all of the non-melanated people in the room, but kind of the way that even at his age, with all of his accomplishments, that he still had a tinge of pride in his voice when he said, and it's in the book, that Lincoln said he couldn't have won the war without those soldiers. As if we're still looking for some kind of approval from people that we know largely are not even worthy of seeking such, are telling us that we're not enough, or telling us that we're not worthy. That just really boiled my bum, that this lovely elder, this esteemed, refined, elegant gentleman still has to say, this is what Lincoln said. Fuck Lincoln, respectfully. Fuck his little pat on the head, like, oh, the Negroes perform well. Fuck all of them. Thank you, I'm done.
And his motherfucking pennies. Fuck him and his pennies.
Oh, wow. With that being said, we should be at, what, the 14-minute mark, Robbers?
Yeah, 13, 14. Yeah, so we're like halfway there. And I can squeeze another 5.
Well, I just want to add real quick to what Reformatory said. And we're Reformatory, man. It's scary.
Reformatory.
It's scary.
Girl, I know. We're twinsies, girl.
It's scary because I want to say this about Lincoln. Lincoln was a piece of shit. Lincoln he did not want you guys to be free. He did not want you guys to actually be in the war, but he was terribly in the war. Y'all look this up. Lincoln was not your savior. Um, he started to grudgingly let you guys fight. And then when they were capturing the African Americans, instead of trying to tell them to treat them nicely, because once they caught you, they treated you worse than slaves, he refused to intervene. So just do a little backdrop on Lincoln and see how he wasn't that great emancipator that everybody tries to play him as. And I'll end with that.
Agreed, Misa. He freed the slaves to piss off the South. But anywho, we don't have to litigate that. But um, I want to get this book and read it for sure.
Thank
See
you.
you play.
Yes, and 5 minutes so we can jump in. Thank you, I appreciate it. And everyone in the room, thanks for coming to the 420. Eventually, we're going to get to some other, but this is kind of intriguing to me. I hope you just bear with us and get through it, and y'all can get back to arguing and crashing out after this is over. Go ahead, guys.
Or during reconstruction, overcharge and go right back.
Yeah.
So I
Let's go to it. Correct that. Go with that. Five. Got it. The source. And what is the back? Goes like I did the first a little more but they're doing that just the Lord saying the source goes like down and it is legal. You political stuff. Yeah. And that is the Lord for African Americans.
be really clear. Your view, the modern Republicans are hypocrites and want to turn the country back toward the side that approaches Jim Crow, if not you.
I don't know that I would call all modern the Republicans. I'm very circumspect. They're already. I don't know what, but I know what the word means. Everybody that's what that is. They are like themselves. And there are people who are supporters of this president who admit to me that they are white supremacists. I've had people who support this president tell me that they thought it was a good thing. And really, for us to deny this exists, I don't know why we would do that.
You've had people tell you to support the president because they thought slavery was a good thing.
Absolutely. Right to my feet.
Conditions?
Absolutely. In my congressional district.
What's that like?
Sometimes I
In the period that you cover in your book, nearly all Black Americans were proud Republicans, as you mentioned. Your mother and father were Republicans. All of the first eight were Republicans. The Redeemer Democrats did not want Black Americans in their party. This was the party of Lincoln. It was the party of emancipation. In 1990, you participated in a debate on the original firing line with William F. Buckley Jr. And the question of the debate was, should Black Americans come back to the Republican Party? In explaining why they should not, you invoked the Voting Rights Act of 1965. Here's what you said then. Take a look.
And so it seems to me that it's the Democratic Party that has come forward with those group remedies such as the Voting Rights Act. The Voting Rights Act is not individually applied, it's applied to the group because it was a group that was denied the right to vote.
Do you remember that debate?
Yes, I do.
The constitutionality of whether race can be considered when drawing congressional lines is coming before the Supreme Court this term. You write that you would not have been elected if it hadn't been for the Voting Rights Act.
Absolutely.
What is at stake 60 years later if it is not upheld?
If you regress, I mean, that's what happened. In the 1870s, South Carolina was allocated 5 Congress people, 4 were blind.
By any means necessary, and that was a. I I still to this day don't know how much of that was just propaganda to rally the support of the people to find like a common boogeyman versus they all actually believe this. I really don't know.
I mean,
But-
I'm not,
But that's
I'm
very
not
similar
making
to the
it,
left here today.
but I'm not making this up, guys. Like, it's every 3 hours I have another incident. And it's coming from people with that are just extreme. And you hear it on here. You've got to put antenna up when you hear it. And so this one's from the left. And
They're definitely here.
yeah.
And we should not underestimate it. And, you know, I've
Was a
seen
flower,
far
and
left
she was indeed a sweet flower of love.
terrorist attacks than from the right, to be fair.
It's
I don't know
not,
about you,
historically, it's not quite, I mean, right-wingers, so left-wing will cause mob violence, they will have large protests, they'll assault people, especially when they can outnumber people, but traditionally, and I'm just being fair, this is where the right-wing extremists were different. Who were the people that would go into a black church or a synagogue and shoot up people because of who they are, or a Walmart, or that store in Buffalo where because a lot of black people live there? It was the right. I mean, the right wing did have. You didn't really quite see that type of violence where they were just going to execute people because of who they are. You know, because of their religion or race, like you would see on the right. That is where I would say traditional right-wing extremists are far more violent when they would commit attacks. However, they're far and few between. But you know, the left they mobilize a lot more often in large numbers. A lot of violence ends up happening when they do that. But you don't really see mass shootings and that kind of stuff that you would see with the far right. You know, I don't know what else to call them.
That's what I'm saying. Those mass shootings, I mean, we're seeing them. And we're seeing from which group they're actually coming. I'm sorry, it's usually.
I mean, you had some trans people that are, I don't know, trans men, trans women that have had their little streak the last, year and a half or 2 years. That I would say are more on the left. Other than that, like they're kind of anomalous. Before then, it's generally been right-wing people that do these mass shootings. And even like if we look at the Boston Marathon bombers, I don't even know if you can put them on a left versus right because it was just like that's Islamic.
Well, that was a terrorist attack.
No, Sarnaya was driven through a sense of Islamic extremism. You got radical.
Exactly. It's not like I don't even consider that left versus right. It's more, at least in American
it's not left
context.
versus right. It's like radical versus not radical. I bet you got any brown berets near where you live, or maroon berets? That's that group.
I mean, that was back in the day. So I'm trying to think what you call.
There's a pejorative term. I just can't think of what the.
There's like they call them machistas.
Yeah, there we go.
So there were people, even that I was friends with in college that were part of Mecha. And if any of you don't know, it's kind of like a far left, ethnocentric, for Chicanos. Basically, a Chicano is a American-born person of Mexican descent. They differentiate themselves from Mexicans from Mexico. In a way,
They may still identify partially as norteños because of the kind of like sense of like adventure and like doing your own thing and like not relying on government. But I don't know how much will depend on culture permeated in Arizona versus South Texas.
So I believe like one of the there was a university professor, which New Mexico is interesting because you've had people of Spanish descent that have been living there for 500 years. And their Hispanic population didn't really grow due to immigration. They've always been a majority Hispanic. But there was a professor from there, and he did the whole Aslan, the whole, basically he really pushed the whole idea that the Southwest United States should remain Mexican. It's our inheritance, and you had this big, like in the 60s, you got a lot of these different movements that came about. And I forget that fucker's name, but even the mayor of LA, he was a former mayor of LA.
Garcetti?
No, he was a Mexican guy. He one who forget what he did to Rush Limbaugh's girlfriend.
Villegas.
Yeah, and so he was a member of them, and they did they sabotaged some train tracks in LA or near LA and caused a terrorist attack. I mean, they were kind of militant, like a lot of groups back in the Black Guerrilla Family or
militancy went kind of hand in hand in the 60s with political groups. I mean, the 60s were a super violent time in America. If we think now it's violent, that was a lot.
You remember the Weathermen? They wanted to blow up the subways underneath the Capitol. I mean, they caught that. They caught them doing it.
I remember asking my dad. I mean, he was in his teens and 20s in the 60s, and in 2020, I remember asking him, I don't know, was our country more politically chaotic or violent now or then? And he had a really hard time, answering that. So, in some ways, we were worse.
It's the Weather Underground. It was the SSDS.
Yeah.
And the Weather
Democratic
Underground.
Society, something like that, right?
Yep.
You actually had some, a lot of them were pretty privileged white kids that were socialists.
Yeah, they were privileged white kids. I mean,
Columbia, they were.
But they were very smart. These were really smart guys, like Bill Ayers.
Hey, Jerry Rubin and Abby Hoffman and Dave Dillinger and Tom Hayden. I'm trying to remember if I can get all seven. Who am I missing? Rennie Davis. I mean, they were really bright. If you look at who went on trial.
Who's the one? Chicago 8 became to Chicago 7.
Oh, and Bobby Seale, right?
Right. Who we left out?
Wait, Dave Dillinger, Rennie Davis, Abby Hoffman, Jerry Rubin, Tom Hayden. I'm missing one. I can't think of it.
You named 6?
Yeah. Anyway,
okay,
they were all really bright.
No, they were all really bright. And I remember, this was maybe 15 years ago, Megyn Kelly had Bill Ayers on her show on Fox, and she's kind of brilliant. And I just remember just kind of being amazed at how intelligently he could answer and respond to her questions. And of course, he's doing this in a way where he could possibly get in trouble if he legally, if he answers some of her questions the wrong way. And I was just, and Megyn Kelly, it seemed like she was just she didn't know what to do. And I was thinking wow, this is a sharp motherfucker. And when you did...
He's very smart. He has a PhD. He's a tenured professor.
Yeah, but he's probably actually...
retired.
Yeah, but he's actually, in my opinion, a very smart guy. And
he was one of Obama's advisors. Before
I mean, the rumor is, and I don't know how true it is, that he wrote
Dreams of My
Barack
Father.
Obama's book, yeah. But, he's but that's actually, if you think about it, imagine you had these smart people that were committed to being terrorists. The world's a pretty dangerous place.
Well, that's the Weather Underground. They split up SDS. They were part of SDS, but then they split it up and they created the Weather Underground. They destroyed that organization, SDS, in order to form the Weather Underground, which was about bombing.
there's still people to this day, if you go on the FBI's website, that have not been found. And I'm dumbfounded. Like after decades, they've not been able to track these people that have been involved in some of those attacks. They've not been. Nobody believes they ended up being found in
Actually, I
Cuba.
thought they all came above ground. They had really good lawyers. A lot of those people, when they came above ground, they showed that the FBI had done illegal wiretaps, and that's why they did minimal jail sentences.
Well, no. So there was an MTA officer in, I believe, New York City who, there was 2 women, I believe, involved in that attack, and they ended up, I forget what they did, some kind of terrorist attack, but they severely injured this one officer, and of course, even when it says, while they're still looking for her, she has a photographic memory, is estimated to be, a genius, something like that, and nobody since the 70s. And no, I mean, usually these people pop up because they were found in exile in Cuba, and of course Cuba will use them domestically as a positive PR for their.
Okay, here we go. I just Googled it. None of the original Weather Underground organization members are still in hiding as of 2026. But look, there could be other groups. Other groups.
No, I wasn't talking about the Weather Underground. I'm talking about some of these extreme. Just look up far left terrorists that have not been found, that are wanted and have not been found from the 70s and 80s. I mean, it's.
Yeah.
What are you saying? You're talking about from the SSDS, from those groups?
I don't know.
It was the SGS, by the way, not the SSDS.
I don't know which
SS
groups they were from.
students for
The Democratic Society.
SDS, you're saying?
Yeah. Now, Antifa, I don't know, Antifa is not from the 60s.
No, it is not.
No. But even until the early 80s, what was it? Was her last name Rosenberg? I forget her first name.
Those people were caught.
Yeah,
they were caught. This was in the early 80s, and they were still doing this shit.
Right. Kathy Boudin, I know a lot about that stuff. Yeah, Clinton pardoned some of these people.
He did?
Yeah. No,
he pardoned her, Rosenberg, her last day in office.
Dave Gilbert was pardoned by Elliot Spitzer.
And Rosenberg was on the board of Black Lives Matter.
Kathy Boudin was a professor at Columbia.
It wasn't Angela Davis?
Go ahead.
Didn't Angela Davis, she taught at Antioch, or I feel like she was teaching at Antioch. Maybe I'm wrong on that. Or
taught somewhere.
So if I recall correctly, didn't Ayers?
Bill Ayers is a tenured professor. He was.
No, I know that, but didn't he raise? I forget the name of that dude. He was the local prosecutor there in San Francisco.
Yeah, he raised Jason Boudin.
Yeah, and that was her son, and.
Yeah, Jason Boudin is the son of 2 left-wing terrorists, Dave Gilbert and Kathy Boudin. He went to Yale undergrad and Yale Law. He won an election to be DA of San Francisco, and then there was, when his parents were in jail, Bill Ayers and Bernadine Dorn raised him. He calls them dad. He calls his real parents by their first name. He calls them dad and mom. It's a fucked up world. And then there was a repeal. He was voted out.
If I recall correctly, in that election, they have a large Asian population, and it was, I get it. It's like a liberal and progressive place, but it did turn into a fucking cesspool, and
I don't know how it happened. I don't know how you do a repeal. They've done it in California. They repealed the governor, for God's sake. Remember when Arnold Schwarzenegger, he was voted in on a repeal election. Whoever the governor was, Gray Davis, I forgot his name. They repealed him, and Arnold was voted in. We don't seem to, I can't remember any other repeals in my lifetime.
Can't think of any repeals other than that one. Oh, wait, the DA in San Francisco.
That's what we've been talking about.
That was the son.
Right,
The only
those two,
repeals
right?
that we can think of are in California.
So that was a terrorist. That was the son of two terrorists, and that was raised by their terrorist friends.
Yeah, the incredible thing about him is that he went to Yale undergrad and Yale Law. I really believe that.
But these are smart people. I mean, like the
Yes,
thing
definitely
is,
smart.
these are not dumb people, and that's what
They're very smart.
Yeah.
But academia is where where the liberal world, those are the people that still sympathize with the Weather Underground. That's where they are. The universities, the professors, those are the people who feel like chicken shit. I was too chicken to join the SDS or to join the Weather Underground, but I do sympathize with them. And so they get a kick out of promoting the children of these people. They get a kick out of the fact that Jason Boudin is at Yale Law.
I would say that
his
is one
parents are doing like light bids, and he's at Yale Law. Isn't that cool?
And I think that's one of the differences between the left and the right in the United States is when it comes to like domestic terrorism, you don't have this legacy of the right wing doing this, the terrorism stuff. Whereas if you look at
Aside from Timothy McVeigh, but that's few and far between.
No. I said legacies.
I misunderstood you, man. That's my bad. Yeah, I mean, Timothy McVeigh's kids are not going to Harvard.
So, but you do have people with left-wing grievances and people that so happen to be left that have ethnic, or racial, or religious grievances on the left that were kind of brought into the fold of I'll just say like this Marxist violent ideology where you can, you're fighting the good fight. Yeah, just go ahead and blood should run in the streets. You're doing what you need to do to liberate your people. Whereas the right doesn't have anything even remotely similar to that. You're going to have people that are very extreme on the far right, which are, they're just terrorists and unhinged, and most people don't take them seriously, that might have views that are similar to that, but once again, these are fucking crazy people. They're never really taken seriously on the right. But even the mainstream, and that's kind of one of the weird things, is like, I guess in the 60s, maybe there was more mainstream acceptance of the violence towards the majority, like America. We're an evil country, the white people, whatever. But I mean, today it's like, what do you see? It's America, any of its allies, they should be attacked. They're horrible. They're evil. White people are evil. At least in America's context, they put Jews in the white basket, but you guys are more elite form of whites. And you guys you're colonizing these brown people in an apartheid state in Israel. You guys are just super awful. We need to get rid of you. That's kind of how they think. And I don't know. I'm just waiting for this shit to end. It's getting really fucking old.
Googling, trying to find other recalls. This is interesting.
Well, yeah, the demoralization of a nation.
That whole project has been going over quite some years now, and I feel like, I hope it's not going to work, but it sometimes does look like it's slowly working.
But I understand, like, when Yuri Bez, I'm sure you know about this, and how like awestruck he was that he was talking about how they try to demoralize countries. This is a defector from Russia who worked for the KGB. Basically they would, whether it was gay rights, the support or the rights of different marginalized communities, they would try to draw or create rifts every way they could. But that was only a strategy to cause the downfall and social collapse of a country so they can take over. It wasn't an ideology they actually cared about. It was just these ideologies were only designed to destroy societies, not build it. But, you know, but who today would really be trying to benefit from that, except for the people who are, like, I don't know, the useful idiots that are still believed in their propaganda and the offshoots of it that are maybe professors today. I don't know that.
The alliance.
But who's going to come in and take over? That's the hard part.
Yeah, you never know who's going to be the end victor, but you do know that there is an alliance between several parties, actually.
But the Soviet Union would come in after a country stabilized and then quote unquote normalize it and rule it with an iron fist. There's no. I guess today I can see how the propaganda is still alive, and people. There's true believers, but I don't. Perhaps China and Russia, which it's my understanding that with Russian disinformation campaigns, within trying to a lot of the shit that they do, it's not to. Their main goal is, at least today, not to. Their main goal is to get people to be so disgusted, basically, with the system and both sides that they are just not willing to participate. And I don't. But even then, it's like Russia's not going to take over us. But of course, if they can weaken our resolve and our willingness to elect people that will push back against Russia, that makes their lives easier. I don't quite know what the end goal is with people, with every group of people and all of their grievances and their ideologies. I don't even know if they're all like connected. That's where it becomes kind of complicated.
How about Cuba? You can take over Cuba or your land. Huh?
Yeah, Cuba should be freed. I mean, personally.
Should be free.
Yeah.
By who?
What's not good?
By who?
It should be freed by the fucking people.
By the people or Trump?
No, by the people. I don't think Trump should rule over it. No, he shouldn't rule over Cuba. It should. Basically, the regime should be out, taken out, and then they should have elections.
Listen, what do you think about Hillary Clinton?
She's an American hating, bitter, disgusting, ethnic Somali first, Muslim first person who's joined the squad because she does want to. I think like people like genuine leftist bimbos like AOC. She also wants like major reform. However, that major reform is going to be at the expense of everybody that's not her people. She said she's Ilhan Omar is one of the greatest examples of people you should not let into your fucking country. She's not some harmless, worthless immigrant. This filthy fucking bitch is a member of our fucking Congress. And she's openly hostile to the United States and the majority of the population in the United States. She sucks.
Filthy bitch is being kind. My language would be much more extreme than filthy bitch.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
She's dangerous and diabolical. It needs to be censored. Needs to be censored. Should have
Bibi
been
is not
censored.
dangerous. Trump is not dangerous, huh?
She needs to be censored. Should have been censored. Just like Talib
That was
was
fucking
censored.
incredible.
That needs to be investigated.
She's another. There was the mayor of Dearborn, Michigan. This was funny. This was after October 7th. And I remember because after October 7th.
Incredible. Oh my god.
Did I miss it? Did I miss it?
Try, but I'll try.
Johnny, if you wanted to sing,
Yeah.
Johnny.
Yeah, I actually bought a. Oh yeah, I'd like to sing you a Yiddish song.
Alright, I'm working on that.
Okay, pick a magic number 1 through 100.
30.
Okay, you are getting Was Teug mit der schöne Weingarten. What need have I of a pretty vineyard? A folk song published in 1927 by Y.L. Kahan. The opening stanza resembles other Yiddish folk songs. This is what it's in English. What do I need a pretty vineyard when I cannot plant it? What do I need a love affair when we cannot marry? Oh, mother, I will never fall in love again. He bragged to his friends that I call for him and he doesn't want to come. Oh, for others the night is filled with light. For me the day is dark. Oh, for others there is joy and happiness. For me there is mourning and grief. Was teug mir der schöne Weingarten, als Pflanzen kenn ich ihm nicht. Was teug mir a Liebe zu spielen, als nehmen kennen wir sich nicht. Was teug mir a Liebe zu spielen, als niemand kennen wir sich nicht. Oi weh, Mama, gewähr mir kein Liebe nicht spielen.
Whoa.
My God.
That was really good. Really good.
Whoa.
Very well done. Very well done.
Love, what do you got for us?
For me? Oh my god, okay. I'm gonna try a song I've never sung before. I'm gonna sing a song, but I've never sung it before.
It's critical. It sounds like you're.
It's critical. Europe is critical to who?
Even. What was the? What do you mean beer? What's beer? But yeah, by any chance? I'm just asking. Are you the European? What the fuck? You know what I mean? I'm Somali. You know Somali? You're a Somali?
Oh, okay. He's Somali. This is where I think it's interesting. Is you guys are some of the biggest. My very first job out of college, I had to work the county working with seriously mentally ill adults. So this Somali bitch said that she left her check.
Somali's.
Yeah. Fuck you. Yeah. Go suck a fucking dick. Shut your fucking mouth. Let me finish. Okay. All right. I'll just shut. Okay, Skinny. I just shut your mouth for you.
Pepe, hold on. Before we go there, I want to know how big that forehead of his is. Like, is it that big forehead?
9 inches. 10 inches probably. You know what's interesting is we can talk about the. I'll forgo the story, but we can look at we can look at the. Hold on. You filthy Jareer. Hold on. So you have African immigrants that do fairly well, especially from Nigeria. If you look at it, they actually outperform most, maybe even Jewish Americans in a weird way. But of course, they have to come in through a very strict merit-based process where it's the cream of the crop from that country. But then, so we have the merit-based immigrants from Africa, but then we have the refugees that came from Africa, like the Somalis. And what you get are people that just abuse the system. They commit lots of fraud, lots of crime, very dirty people. In fact, I would say, if I recall correctly, more of them joined ISIS. The Somali community in America, they had the largest, per capita wise, percentage of their people that joined ISIS in comparison to any other fucking ethnic group in the United States. Very trash people. Low IQ people, lots of benefits, lots of fraud. When I say benefits, lots of benefits used, lots of fraud. And you guys are terrorists.
Speaking of benefits, I thought it.
Since 1991, our country has been committing fraud since 1991 now?
No, you know what's funny about your country is your country had nothing to do with Western imperialism. It had nothing to do with anything, any outside group doing anything to you. You guys had a civil fucking war. And what ended up happening is that you guys ended up fighting each other. It became a lawless country. Then one of your fucking warlords decided they were going to use UN food aid and hold it hostage, and we had to. No, you fucking retard. Literally, you guys had a civil war, not sparked by outsiders. That you guys are completely different than you cannot blame anything that happened to Somalia on the West. This is fucking retarded.
Sure, yes. We had our own problem, yes. But the reason we came to the West is because of our own problem, just human rights, 1,000,000%. But you cannot blame the Western problems for our immigration. 1,000,000%. You cannot, because we fight and we literally made ourselves Americans. 1,000,000%. We are not enemies to America. Never that. Never. So you are literally delusional. Go fuck yourself. How about that?
What up? I just need to know. Because we got big for it.
Listen, can I bring up something else?
We are not to America. It's our message.
Why does it trouble you?
Yeah, bring it up. What's on your mind?
No, I'm good, thanks.
Somebody brought the word benefits.
I brought up the word benefits about how they use them a lot more than other groups of people.
Well, I just read that Princess Fergie, Princess Sarah Ferguson, was friends with benefits with Diddy. I just read that. I mean, this woman has had a run of bad luck like I wouldn't believe. I mean, if that's true, her luck her public just from shitty to disastrous.
Are you talking about Fergie, the one from Black Eyed Peas?
No, Fergie, the former wife of Prince Andrew. She had a relationship. I mean, apparently she had a relationship with Epstein. They're saying there's a book about her now. Says if Epstein had asked her to marry him, she would have married. But she also had a 4-year friends with benefits thing with P. Diddy.
Wait. I mean, Prince Andrew had a wife before Meghan?
how much betrayal can the public take?
You don't think that there are very specific men operate in similar fashions, but they use different means to do it. But you don't think there are like clout chasing, money chasing whores that just in a way climb a ladder parasitic. Like it's not really that surprising to me.
I know, somehow I thought this person is like, it just, her and Diddy is just one too many things for me to handle right now. I'm having my head, I'm having a problem getting my head wrapped around it. But I guess it's just more about me. Maybe I'm just racist. I don't know. I mean, I never thought I was. I don't know why I'm particularly triggered by this.
Well, probably because Diddy's is a rapist.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. What do I mean? I guess the news, they know how to get our attention with stories like this.
You brought it up, not me.
No, I know I brought it up.
See, I'm somebody who's not, I don't notice those kinds of headlines.
Well, somebody asked, Rocky asked me if there's anything new, so I went to the news page and I found that story.
What I thought was really weird is that with the redistricting that happened in Virginia, is that you had Barack Obama, he made videos saying like the place, this our democracy, lives on this, this place called Virginia. I don't know the name of what it was that they were actually voting on. But I just thought it was really ironic. Like, it was such a, it was a way to basically steal the votes of a bunch of Virginians. And just like how he would, in a way, and this is kind of the problem I have with Obama, is he would time a rally to some decisions that, or like, if you don't do this, you're bad. And I just, like, if you think about it, like, for the most part, back in 2008, black people, white people, Hispanic people, there was always something that happened, but it was not. It wasn't like something that made people like me have to stop and think about it. But under Obama's presidency, like, that became a huge fucking deal. And like, I felt like as white people, as Americans, we were kind of being attacked for the first time ever. After we get so many quotes that Barack Obama made, talking about, even for example, like Texas, and he would say like, and before you guys like try to criticize them, let's think about the Crusades. The Crusades, okay, 400 years, amazing. But as if it wasn't the relevance to the Christians today, is that any of the denominations of Christianity ever feel it's appropriate for us to fucking kill each other over our religious differences. And we would just like overlook a lot of this shit when it came to, a lot of the DL1 became a thing under Obama. I remember 2014, 2015, this was all something that happened under him. While he was still president. The whole thing about like we're a country of white supremacy, white racism, whatever, that all happened under him. Then you can either say I'm an idiot, so I fell for the bait,
You are an idiot.
or I don't know, it's appropriate, but I am someone who did react to the changes I was seeing.
Hello? Hello? Great ass on that Cora. Great ass. Look at that sexy Starfleet captain piloting her ship of Ezekiel through the solar heavens of infinity for all time with an android vibrator. Data is his name. this snake charming flute has seen its better days. It's Abby! The mutant from Chernobyl who escaped to Amsterdam! Are you at the grocery store, Abby, right now? And how many coupons are in your pocket at this moment? Hello? Wow. I think I've hypnotized everyone with my snake charming skills of hypnotic power, of enjoyment and splendor. Hello? Never had one lesson. Hello? To further cleanse your chakras, we will now review your 7 chakras. They are wheels of energy, transformers, and doorways of subtle vital forces called prana. Chakras originate outside of the body as gates in a second attention system, like the 5 senses. The brain senses the different frequencies of light as colors. Chakras sense and distribute prana, energy to the physical body, as different emotions, sensations, thoughts, and vibrations. Your crown chakra, repeat after me. Sahasrara. Sahasrara. Your next one is your brow, which is your mental body. Ajna. Ajna. Next we get to your throat, which is your emotional body. Vishuddha. Vishuddha. Next we get to your heart. Anahata. Anahata. Then we get to your navel. Manipura. Manipura. Next we get to your sacral. Svadhisthana. Svadhisthana. Now we get to your root chakra. Muladhara. Muladhara. Symbols, chakra lotus petals, indicate the vibration and frequency rate of the color of the energy fields. So now visualize your anus, the base of the spine, your root chakra. Visualize the color red. This is Saturn or lead, and it means your survival. Stability and grounding is the function. Your protein is your adrenals. Legs, feet, and earth, a red square. Next, we have smell of bloodstone. Then we have oriole, hematite, cedar and myrrh, garnet and cinnamon. That is your root, which is your muladhara. Then we get to your sacral, which is the svadhisthana. Think of the color orange, your sacrum. Moon, tin, and sexuality. Desire and emotions. Liquid gonads. Abdomen and water. Think of an orange triangle. Taste, dew, and coral. Gabriel quartz, rose, and saffron. Carnelian and dragon blood. That's your svadhisthana. Again, that's your emotions and your sexuality. Then we get to your navel, which is your Manipura, which is a yellow solar plexus. The planet is Mars. The metal is iron. The main issue is willpower. This is purpose and energy, grain and pancreas, digestive fire, sight, and amber. Michael, moonstone, blueberry, cedar, citrine, and ginger. That's your Manipura, your physical body. Then we get to your heart. It's green. It's Venus, the planet. The metal is copper. The main issue deals with love. Sharing and balance, that's the goal and function. The food and thymus, the body part, is the lungs. Lymph and air. Think of a green plus sign. Then the sense and sound is touch and tourmaline. That's the gemstone. The angel or the ideal is Raphael. The quieting stone is malachite. The fragrance is chamomile. The incense is rose. Stimulating kunzite. The stone aroma is heliotrope. Then we get to your throat. Think of the color blue, Vishuddha. The planet is Mercury. The metal is mercury. The main issue deals with creativity. The goal is communication. The function is healing. Foods are fruit. Gland is thyroid. Body part is ear. Symbol element is ether. Think of a cup, a blue cup. Sense and sound. Here and I. The gemstone is turquoise. The angel or ideal is Hermes. The quieting stone is aquamarine. Fragrance, frankincense, incense is sandalwood. Stimulating is azurite. The stone aroma is eucalyptus. Then we move to your brow, your third eye, indigo, purplish, achna, which is your mental body. Planet is Jupiter. Metal is silver. Main issue, clairvoyance. Goal, imagination. Function, intuition. Foods are pure air. Gland is pineal. Body part are your eyes. The symbol element, it's the Star of David. It's a purple Star of David. The sound is your intuition. The gemstone is lapis. The angel or ideal is Isis. The quieting stone is spectralite. Fragrance is star anise. Incense, galangal. Stimulating is sugarlight. Stone aroma is lavender. The last chakra is at the top of your head. It's your crown. It's violet. Your spiritual body. Your sahasrara. Planet is Uranus. Ooh, the metal is gold. The main issue is understanding. The goal is wisdom. The function, spiritual. Foods are fasting. Gland is pituitary. Body part is CNS, your central nervous system. The symbol and element is thought, or a purple lotus. Sense, sound, and gemstone is think, NG, and amethyst. The angel or ideal is Shiva. Krishna. Quieting stone is tourmaline. Fragrance is lotus. Incense is peony. Stimulating stone is quartz. And the aroma is Those are your chakra centers. Chakras are associated with particular aspects of awareness and consciousness. Blocks on emotional, physical, with human, the spiritual, mental levels can cause you problems here on Clubhouse. Cleanse your chakras on Clubhouse daily by quieting or stimulating yourself with healing factors that release reservoirs of cum energy, debris to free your healthy frequencies either on your clitoris or on your gonads, your testes. These are your chakra centers. You have been cleansed. You're radiating light. Hello?
نمیشه به این دلیل که لطفا خواهش میکنم گلو جان خیلی توجه کن که چی دارم میگم که درست براشون ترجمه کنی. این بی احترامی هست.
CM, you want to hear a song I made, an AI song? It's called Magic. I hope you like it. Moderators, feel free to kick me from the room anytime you want.
Mine is the head of the man, and my insight is keen